Tarot. My name's Carmen. Today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is making an important decision, but also feeling like they don't know if it's safe or if it's a good idea to tell people what they've decided. So we have the book card talks about wisdom, but it also talks about, because there is like a little lock and key situation here, that it's like a need to know basis. Maybe I don't want you to know because things could still change. Maybe I don't want you to know because I know what your reaction would be. But we have someone who's making the decision and then realizing I probably need to choose the right moment to tell people what's been decided. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time, and I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Happy Saturday. Hello, April. Hello, Nat Nat. How we doing? If you are interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members, as well as how to find my Etsy candles. Because, some ones in the store are not very good for you. Hello, Joaquin. Hello, Famous Seamus. How we doing? Make the snow stop, please. Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'll be on that. We're going to start with the Hocus Pocus Tarot and see what else we've got. No worries, April. Saturdays are for getting stuff done, right? All right, what else do we have? We have the Seven of Cups, Illusion, Secrecy, Page of Lightning, Page of Swords, a detail. But see, I think this is the decision. I know what I'm deciding, but I know I can't really tell people. This is probably pertaining to what somebody is willing to work on or commit to. It could be regarding their profession or their career, but this Eight of Pentacles could also be a sense of family obligation, or I know you expect me to do this, but the truth is I'm not going to be there for that. I'm not interested in doing that thing, so I'm not going to. But I don't think they're telling anyone. It's like, yeah, I know you're having a family reunion, but I don't get along with all of you, so maybe I'll just like kind of smile and nod and thank you for sending the invite. But I know I'm not going to go. I just don't think I can tell you yet because you might freak out on me, right? Hello, Earth Angel. How we doing? Hello, Rachel. Happy Saturday. You know what? I don't think snow is required for an orange cat to go crazy. I think they just look for the excuses to go crazy. And they're like, snow, that'll do. Okay, crazy mode activated. We've got the Queen of Swords in the reverse, the Knight of Candles or the Knight of Wands in the reverse, and the Six of Cups in the reverse. And I don't really like any of these. Wow, okay. I think this is someone who's deciding they might be ready to move. They might be ready to start over. They don't want to deal with the people who have been quite negative around them or the untrustworthy family or friends that they've been surrounded by that seem to encourage not so great choices. Now, remember at the very beginning, we had the book card, right? Here we have the Hierophant in the reverse, and it is represented by the spell book from Hocus Pocus. I feel like this is, if you don't seem to be a good influence in my life, if this doesn't seem to be the right path for me, I'm going to observe what I need to, make those decisions, and then I'm going to leave and probably let you know after I've already left. Now, it is worth mentioning that the Hierophant in the reverse could also refer to a relationship that is ending. We could have somebody who's deciding, you know what, if it's time for me to end this relationship, then that's going to impact a few different areas of my life. That means that I need to start looking for a different place to live, or I need to find a different job. This is, roll up the sleeves and get ready to make some changes, but I don't think I can tell everybody what's going on. That's adorable, Famous Seamus. Hello, Danny. How are you doing? We have 8 of Potions or 8 of Cups in the reverse. and the Eight of Cups, or sorry, the Ace of Cups in the reverse. I feel like we've had a repeat offense. So whether, like, whoever it is that the Queen of Swords in the reverse is, this could be a family member, this could be a group, like a group of friends, but this could also be an ex. This is like you've messed with this one too many times. What song is that? 1, 2, 3 times too much. I don't know what song that is. But it's someone who's saying, you messed up multiple times and you expect me to just be like, oh, another time, that's fine, no big deal, I don't really care anyways. And instead you're like, this is like too much for me to deal with. I had a friend a long time ago who had worked for a company that missed paying them multiple times. Like, it was just known that if payday was coming up, there was a decent chance you weren't getting your money. I don't think I would stay very long at a place that doesn't know how to pay, right? Or willingly chooses not to pay. But you do it multiple times, like, yeah, I'm out of there. This is someone who's saying it is like tallied on the wall and it happened too many times, so now I need to like walk away. Hello, Third Eye, how you doing? Yes, thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Rachel, I think you're right on that. Can I say that? I think they'll get mad at me. Doja Cat ain't ish. King of Swords in the reverse and the Queen of Cups. I love this so much. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of people being immature or untrustworthy around you. But what I like is the attitude of this Queen of Potions who's like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave because this is not my scene. Y'all can continue to do the like sponge painting or whatever this is, or the, you know, what is it that my dad used to say? I think my dad used to say, choose up sides and sniff armpits. And this person's like, that's really not my thing. I'm not into that. Don't yuck my yum. This is like, no, I really don't think I want to spend any more time hanging out with you all because you get into things that I don't want to. It could even be about, you know, I've decided that I don't want to party anymore. I've decided that I don't want to go to happy hours anymore. I've decided I don't want to be friends with that main person in the group. So I'm just gonna like Homer Simpson it into the shrubbery, you know? We've got the Two of Lightning or Two of Swords in the reverse and the Six of Lightning. So this decision that has been made is regarding someone leaving a group or a place because they know it's not where they belong anymore. But if I tell people, they're probably gonna make some big stink about it. So like, don't throw me a going away party. I'm just gonna like dip. All right, what else do we have? We have the Sun and the Star in the reverse. You recognize that the individuals you've been connecting to or friends with or working alongside were people that don't seem to be very interested in working on themselves or improving their own situations. It might be a lot of that person's the problem or that's not working out, so I can't do anything to change that. A lot of lack of accountability. And I feel like this Queen of Cups was like, I think I would do better elsewhere. Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups. So I don't think I can continue to invest in this group or stay around in this particular area because it's holding me back. You know, when I was in high school, I had a gym teacher who was medium. Didn't really like the guy, I'll be honest. But he did say something that has stuck with me my whole life, basically. You tend to become who you hang around, which is not too far away from guilty by association. If If you know somebody is a Nickelback fan and you don't want to be associated with that kind of energy, people I think would understand if you said, yeah, no, I can't be your friend anymore because I understand you're a big Nickelback fan. And that goes against my principles. Obviously, that's not the real problem here. Being a Nickelback fan is not a serious issue. Hello, how's it going, Amy? Hello, Figure Out. What's up? Hello, Stacy. Hello, See the Gray. Yes, we are what we eat. So this is someone who's saying, I want to be surrounded by people that are a little bit like higher caliber. I don't want to have to be asking myself, is this person telling me the truth right now? Is this person, disloyal? Are they lying about what they have, what they took, what they did, who they're seeing? I don't want to ask those questions anymore. So Seven of Wands is talking about divine timing. There's an opportunity because we have this choice. And it could be, I found a place I want to live. It could be, I've got a friend who said I can crash on their couch while I look for a job. It could be, I've already got a job offer. But we have someone who's saying, if this is not the right place for me, if this is not the right type of friends, or, if the leadership doesn't want to contribute to my growth as an employee, then what can I really achieve here? I will do better over there. I think the other day I used the analogy that if you're going outside and you're all excited to get a tan, but you're hanging out in the shade, you're looking a little foolish, right? This is someone who's saying, I'm out here trying to get a tan, so I gotta choose the path with the sun, right? I gotta be in the sunlight if my goal is to catch a tan. Yeah, that's fair. Ooh, do I need to look this up to fully understand, Matt? I don't think I've heard of them. Yes. Earth Angel, if you don't mind not doing the capitalized letters for everything, I would appreciate that. It feels like you're yelling at me. Did I say hello to Tandy? Hello. So we've got the King of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Cups. I feel like there's someone you already know at this place. So you might have been recommended for a job by someone who used to work with you or who knows of your skills or talent. You might have somebody who is renting and has a roommate moving out, and they're saying, hey, do you know of anybody that would be interested in living at so-and-so place? And you're like, oh, actually, I would be. Tell me the details. Something works out. But with the Six of Cups, it's like it's hearkening back to something from a previous time, like a more innocent time, whether that's working with somebody that you've missed for a while or having the opportunity to reconnect with some friends from your past, maybe even going back and doing something that you had wanted to do for work but had been unable to because of the place or the opportunities that you had available, right? No worries. I mean, I'm passionate too. You can ask people, I'm generally real easy to spot in a public place. The other day I was at the post office and this dude was behind me and he was like, hey, were you just at the tire place? And I was like, what? Oh. Like several people behind me in line, but he recognized me probably because I'm loud and I was talking. I'm like, yeah, that's me. Hey, how you doing, hon? Happy Saturday. Guidance or next steps, of course. Thank you for the tip, hun. Or next steps. How cold is it up there? It's got to be bad. Well, actually, I think my buddy told me it was only going to be like maybe 20. And that's like not too different from what it is here, so I don't think I can really say much. Oh, that's fair, Matt. You know, as long as they're above that line. Hello, Cozy Cat. How are you doing? So we've got the Ten of Wands. This is talking about the ending or a close of a chapter. And that close of a chapter leads to the Six of Wands, which is victory or success. Sometimes the best things that happen to you in life happen because you're willing to let go of something that wasn't quite right for you. If you stay in a relationship where you don't feel like you can trust that person, you should ask yourself, what am I missing out on because I am staying with somebody that I don't really feel that deeply for? If you're staying at a job where you don't really get along with the leadership, or you don't feel, sorry, I just kicked my table, or you don't feel fulfilled by that, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not at least like putting out feelers for something else that could potentially happen for you. This is someone who's like, you know what? I know this isn't working, so I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to start a different chapter. And it looks like the sun shines over there. So we have the Emperor in the reverse and the Eight of Wands. But for some of you, I feel like we have a decision to not put in a 2 weeks notice. For some of you, there is a decision to not tell family or friends until you've already got everything packed up and ready to go. This is like, I know you're going to try to talk me out of it. I know you're going to try to tell me that this isn't the right choice for me. And the truth is, I don't care. I've made up my mind. Hello, angels. Hello, Paul. How are you doing? Yeah, thankfully not that cold here. I'm barefooted. So we've got number 27, which is the letter. And I do feel like this is good news that reaches you regarding a living situation change or a new job. And you're like, okay, this appears to be my opportunity. And maybe a lot of people around me right now would be happy if I chose to decline, but I think this is actually the right time for me to make a change. Thank you, Amy. What is going on with my roommate? With my roommate? Oh no. I hope it's nothing serious. I've added that for you. Thank you, Amy. I'm glad to hear that, Paul. Ooh, and we have a Paula? We have a Paul and a Paula? I like that. Can we also get a Paulo? We have the bouquet, which is number 9, and this talks about recognition. I feel this is somebody who's getting a job offer or somebody who is able to get a living situation like upgrade, or things are going the right way, like supporting the movement towards this new life, this new chapter. Hello, Wilfred. How are you doing? We've got the owls. Uh-oh. This is why you feel like you can't tell people. Because there would be people who would be not supportive, right? They would be critical of this. Like, well, yeah, that sounds great and everything, but have you thought about this? Or have you considered that? Or how can I emotionally manipulate you into feeling like this is a bad choice because it's not good for me? For February, let me try that again. February and March, about moving. Thank you, Cozy Cat. February, March, moving. We'll see if we get any advice or guidance on that for you. Hello, Lotus. How are you doing? No problem. And in case, I'm pretty sure it doesn't tell you guys what time we're at when it's live. It's at 19:18. Well, actually 19:19 when I said that, which is excellent root beer. I'm not getting paid to say that, but, you know, gonna have some root beer. That's the one I would choose. Oh, dang. Okay, so this could be someone who's making a move because they feel like they need to move elsewhere for love. This could be someone who feels like if they stay where they are, they're not going to be able to find someone to love. But remember that even though we have two swans facing each other, this could also be somebody who is showing that what makes them happy is their priority, not what makes everybody else happy. People pleasing, like maybe it was cool like 20 years ago, but it's not cool anymore, right? We've got to find that happy balance between doing the things that make us feel good about the accomplishments and, you know, the track that we want to follow for our life. But you also have to be able to include or like balance that with what makes you happy. Does it automatically make you happier if you're making 50,000 more a year? Maybe. But is there still mental health balance at that work? Maybe not. Does it make you happy to, I don't know, be closer to family or to be able to branch out and start your own family? There's someone here who's asking some pretty significant questions and realizing that there were some negative individuals that they really did need to get away from because they were holding this person back from being able to be in a healthy relationship. Whether that's because we have like a disgruntled ex, or controlling or meddling family members, or just like an overly demanding job where you're working like 70 hours a week, right? Did I say hello to angels? I hope I did. Paul, you said, when I see someone that I like, I can get scared and I don't know what to do. Can you help me? Look, I think the best thing I could say to that is sometimes you have to fake it until you make it. Look, I have to go on live stream with a bunch of people who like to troll me and a bunch of delightful people, by the way, too. And so sometimes it can be a little bit like nerve-wracking, right? But I think you get to a certain point where you realize you either gonna like me or you're not. So I might as well just be myself and we can get that out of the way right away, right? Do things that help you to build that confidence in yourself so that you have hobbies and passions that you can talk about. That's something that I think builds rapport or a romantic connection very organically. Whereas I think a lot of people who kind of fail in the romantic department are trying to consider things that they have that make them worthy of dating, such as a car, right? But if you're talking about things that are important to you, things that you are working on, like publishing a novel or designing a clothing line, these are the kinds of things that people can understand you better through because it's something that you care about. Those are the things that I would invest in. And then just remember that people tell if you're genuine, and that's the most important part, right? Hello, you wish. Hello, April. Yeah, if y'all want to send some confident energy, was it Paul? Towards Paul, that would be awesome. But you got this. Hello, Darnell. How you doing? So we've got, this is interesting. We've got the man in a shirt and the man without a shirt. So you'll notice it's the same number, right? Number 28. I know it's backwards. I don't do that. YouTube does, and I don't want to deal with it. This is saying that we've got someone who wants the better things in life, someone who wants to be around a higher caliber of people, friends or family, dealing with not trustworthy individuals. And you're like, Carmen, but just because someone doesn't wear a shirt doesn't mean they're not trustworthy. Exhibit A, Matthew McConaughey. Just kidding. This is indicative of somebody who would probably be willing to like steal your girl, right? Somebody who would be willing to steal your money. It does generally indicate more so promiscuity or a lack of respect in terms of, you know, where you think it's appropriate to not wear clothing. But this is someone saying, I don't want to be around this. I don't want to be worried about if I find someone that I love, is my best friend going to try to hit on them as well, right? Hello, Unique. How are you doing? Oh, I'm glad you're hanging in there, Darnell. Oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? We're going to go with the Thoth Tarot. Oh, that's a very kind compliment. I appreciate that. Hello, Dementia. How you doing? Hello, Linus. Yeah, manipulative narcissist. That feels like something that should not be in your sphere. What else do we have? We have the Three of Discs, which is the Three of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles, or the Prince of Discs. I'm telling you, I think someone's getting a job offer. I think someone is building a new network with that Three of Pentacles. So this actually says works at the bottom. I think we have someone maybe even updating their resume, going through some interviews, and I think getting an offer. And this offer, wanting to accept it, is what somebody feels like they have to hide. The Fool talks about a new beginning, and the Sun is in the reverse, because I know you're not going to be able to be happy for me starting this new life. I know that things might be still a little bit tense if I were to say that now. But if I get settled in that new place and then I let you know what happened, that might be better, right? Yes, I agree. And hello, Devin. So we've got Prince of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, in the reverse, and the Four of Cups. Sorry, Four of Cups. This is weirding me out because the Four of Cups is usually rejection, but in this case we have luxury written at the bottom. I mean, it feels to me like we have someone who's saying, yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm doing with that, when they already know that's what I want. I've already accepted that job. I'm going to be moving there next week. But if I told you, you would be mad about it. Because we also have the Ten of Cups. I feel like this is someone getting a job and a living situation sorted, realizing that they have like happier days ahead, either because they're moving towards somebody that they love or a close friend from their past, or because they feel like they have greater opportunity for their career and just general personal development in a little bit of a better place. All right, let's get a little bit more from the Tarot Familiars. Yes. If they could steal my girl, maybe she wasn't ever my girl. If they want to steal my money, you usually get it back. Especially if you got good karma. We got the Knight of Cups, the Five of Swords. Yeah, if you told people about your plans, they would try to sabotage your plans. I think you're absolutely right about it. And notice this is somebody who, our cute little owl here is looking where they need to go direction-wise. We have like street signs underneath him. But if I tell someone where I'm going, then they're probably going to try to sabotage it. They're going to probably try to find a way to convince me I can't go or shouldn't go, or, oh my gosh, how could you do that to me, right? King of Cups, Queen of Swords. See, the thing is, I think, remember you came out as the Queen of Cups in the Hocus Pocus Tarot? It is right below where these cards are too. And you were like, I want to go over there. The King and Queen of Cups tell me that you have a big heart. It might be too big for your body. It might be something that has enabled you to miss certain opportunities because you are trying to take care of other people or trying to do right by others. Maybe you had a sense of responsibility towards caring for somebody else's children, caring for an adult, helping a family business. But now we have someone who's saying, at some point, I have to have boundaries. At some point, I need to make a decision for myself. And this is what I need, or this is what I feel drawn to do. Yes. So we have Page of Cups and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Once I have more progress in this transition, then I will tell people. But as of right now, I have to keep this to myself. I can't tell everyone because they would probably get mad at me. But once I have, you know, moved my stuff over, once I've had my first day at work, then I'll tell people what's going on. There's some, like, this date, then I will tell people. But I can't before then, because someone would try to mess with me. So we have the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Six of Cups. The number 6 is definitely important. Transition, rebalancing, victory. But with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, it feels like this is someone who had to be kind of pushed to a certain point before they were ready to admit, no matter how much my friends want me to stay here, or no matter how much you know, my family has pressured me to continue to work for this company or their company, at some point I'm going to have to say, look, I care about you, I appreciate you, you know, whatever, but I've got to do what's right for me. At this point, I'm missing out on the ability to get the education that I need or the progression that I want in my own career. So I have helped for however long I can, but now it's time for me to like hit the road. But the person or the people that you are dealing with do not come across as very logical. They come across as overly emotional and a bit selfish. With the Hermit in the reverse, I think you know they would come up with some reason to tell you you should not do this. So keeping your plans secret is the right move until you actually have some sort of progress that cannot be undone, right? Thank you, Lee. How's your morning going? Of course, I'm adding you now, and I think we're after 30 minutes, so I might have to start that soon, actually. Let me just pull a few oracle cards, and then we will be moving on to the personal questions. We've got 2, Amy, Cozy Cat, and then Lee. Hello, Tom. How are you doing? What else? I think you either know that there's a strong chance you could meet somebody you could fall in love with, or you're moving for love. And with the Thief card, you don't trust somebody near you. Like I said, this could be somebody who's like Mr. Steal Your Girl, right? Which is kind of amusing for me because this picture of my cat Stewie, rest in peace, I think he has such a demure pose there that I used to jokingly call this the Mr. Steal Your Girl portrait. But we could also be talking about money. We could be talking about somebody who is financially codependent on you, a roommate, a sibling, somebody who feels like if you're making progress, if you're making this decision, if you're moving elsewhere, then now they have a greater responsibility for their own expenses or their own happiness. So they view what is good for you as misfortune for them. And part of that is to do with their level of maturity. Kind of hard to avoid saying something like, it seems like they kind of feel like the world revolves around them. We have to be able to appreciate that everyone is living their own life, right? You know, you can't expect people to make decisions based on what is best for you, at least not all the time. Maybe you can if you're a child. You can expect that probably of your parent, or you should be able to. But this is something different. This is like a best friend who's like, no, I want you to continue to live with me because it's cheaper for me. Thank you, Matt. Let me add that for you. What's up with Ava Lord? I've added that for you. Thank you. Did you? Yeah, Stewie was my best friend for like 15, 16 years. It was a good run. He had a little attitude, though. We used to have conversations with each other. Very talkative cat. He was adorable, though. Hello, Phoenix Rising. How are you doing? So we've got cheerfulness and widower. Well, that's interesting. I feel like this is a partier, right? The people that you are leaving behind might have been a little bit selfish, right? So, oh, you ended this relationship. I'm excited because now I can hit on that person. Oh, you ended up, having to get kicked out of the place you live. Well, that makes my life easier, so I'm going to celebrate. But this is also saying it's now your time to be able to celebrate a situation that's changing in favor for you. So if you have, a great job offer or your offer on your dream house gets accepted, keep it quiet for a little bit because someone here would be quick to disparage it or try to convince you that it's not the right move because it doesn't serve their needs. All right, let's see what else we've got for the personal questions. So for 2, we've got what guidance, guidance or next steps. What does 2 need to know as far as next steps or guidance? Four of Swords in the reverse. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's definitely some frustrations here that seem difficult to overcome. And they do seem to be pertaining to stability or finances or family connections. And with the Knight of Pentacles being in the reverse, it feels like there's a reminder here that this too shall pass and to not assume it will always be like this. Hello, Alan. What do I stand for? If you have a question that I can pull cards for, that's awesome. But otherwise, my simple answer to you, Alan, would be helping people. Yes, Rachel's got it pretty clear. She knows what to do up. We got the 8 of Wands in the reverse and the 4 of Wands. I feel like there is something that you need to speak into existence regarding the next chapter. Do what you can to release the problems of the past and leverage your energy towards this 4 of Wands, because it does feel to me like there's a leveling up here, something that surprises you, that goes well. Star and the 7 of Swords in the reverse. I feel like you're going to get clarity around what direction you need to go in. But the issue here is there's someone who disagrees with you, or there's several people who disagree with you. So this is difficult because I feel like your intuition tells you to do something that most people disagree with, and is kind of related to that general reading, you know? Sometimes you have to make a decision and then tell people afterwards. So you might have to keep some plans secret. We have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. There's a risk financially regarding an impulsive purchase that you have the ability to avoid because it isn't quite right. It's like, I used to go shopping for clothes, and if it was like 80% what I wanted, I'd be like, okay, cool. Now I'm like much more selective. You know, I can talk myself out of a purchase pretty easily. This is saying there's a shift for you with regards to purchasing things where you have a much more selective and like a higher bar that things need to hit before you're willing to purchase them. But I also feel like there could be some guidance that you unexpectedly get from your child, one of them. There was a short that I posted, I think yesterday. And I think one of the little titles said something about like, that's a great idea. And it's talking about how a child says, why don't you do this, kind of like offhand, or you don't really expect to take it seriously, but like it ends up being a really good idea. And that could be for you as well. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest problem or the biggest block right now is thinking about the past. Okay. Let's see what we've got for Amy. And two, I'm hoping that you find all that inspiration and abundance. And I like that your kid might be involved with that too. You're welcome. They don't insulate homes in Texas? What? That's terrifying to me. Oh, is that what I wanted? Hold on. There we go. Okay. So Amy would like to know what's going on with the roommate who has been acting strangely. What is going on with Amy's roommate, please? King of Wands in the reverse, King of Swords, the Devil in the reverse. I feel like there's something that has changed pertaining to a vice. So this could be, I've decided to cut back on drinking, I've decided to quit smoking, or, you know, I'm trying to go to the gym every day. There's something here where it's like, I'm trying to make a different decision for myself as far as habits or patterns, but it's really messing with this person's mood. Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. This person is kind of a mess right now. We have the Fool and the Five of Wands in the reverse. Very much so stuck in their mind, kind of like tormenting themselves over a decision. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. There could be issues at work. Is there a risk of losing their job? No. Emperor in the reverse. So this is just somebody who's extremely unhappy with their current job, and I feel like that impacts their mood, and then there's something else that they've been trying to change. Maybe they just don't have the money for something. Maybe someone they've been talking to romantically has ghosted them, but there's something here that they're trying to wean themselves off or get used to not having, and it's making them like real susceptible to argument, real susceptible to being a jerk. I do feel like the job exacerbates it, but it's some choice that has been made as well about like daily routine that's different. Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups in the reverse, Two of Swords. Okay, I feel like there's somebody who has ghosted them. I feel like they are missing their like supply, their give me good attention and make me feel good about myself. So it's like, you took out my favorite part of the meal and made me only eat the vegetables. So I'm gonna be mean to you, that kind of thing, right? Only I don't think it was your, like I don't think you did anything. You just happen to be the person that is around all the time, right? Or that can get that treatment from them. That's funny, Darnell. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. I do appreciate it. So we've got the Five of Cups and the Ten of Cups in the reverse. I do feel like there's some concern here as to whether or not the two of you can continue to be roommates. So there may be another issue that's coming up soon. The advice here is to remain calm, but also if things escalate, it might be smart to take pictures and email yourself so that there's a timestamp on things that are happening, especially if you're at all concerned about getting like a security deposit back or anything like that. But I do feel like this person's a little bit, like they're struggling right now. We have the Three of Cups. I do feel like there could also be some irrational behavior around getting external validation from someone they don't really know very well. So this could even be like inviting some stranger back to your place and you feel uncomfortable with it. There's some wild, like, I don't play by the rules anymore kind of energy here. Good luck, and I am sending you healing energy or protective energy because it sure seems like you can't really predict what's going to happen with this one. And hopefully there's some healing for your roommate too. What do we have for Cozy Cat regarding moving in February or March? What does Cozy Cat need to know regarding moving, please? Victory, Six of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Tower in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So the thing that seems to be the most important, like, cornerstone of this process is the job. Employment or Eight of Pentacles being in the reverse makes me a little bit nervous. Like, it could mean you move somewhere for a job, think you have everything covered, and then they're like, oops, just kidding, we don't have the budget. Make sure for sure that you got this work situation figured out where you know the details of it. There's no question marks. Nine of Swords in the reverse, Six of Swords. But I feel like for the most part, this is going to go well. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Six of Cups. Yeah, I feel like if there is a little snag or a little unpredictable, like, oh, there's a delay here, or, oh, we can't pay you until this, there's someone here who helps you. Like, it's okay, I got your groceries for the next week, you'll pay me back. I do feel like it involves a little bit of flexibility. Some details could change, but I feel like you move with it. Like, I can't stop seeing someone who's like, moving to like avoid falling off a ship kind of thing, but you're just doing what you need to. Warrior mindset, Five of Wands in the reverse, no conflict. I think things will go well for you. Be very observant, trust your intuition, check the details. This is not an easy process, right? But I feel like you're going to navigate it well. Hello, Melissa, how are you doing? What are Joe's intentions for me? I'm adding that for you. Thank you. And just in case, let's ask for you, Cozy Cat, is it better in February or March? Will it be a better outcome if Cozy Cat moves in February? Yes. There might be some special promotion or offer that ends after February, especially if it's like the slow season for moving. That would make sense, right? Yes, exactly. But the Four of Wands talks about a domicile, a place that you live. So I do feel like things are going to go well. Just got to make sure that you're staying on top of all those details, right? All right, let's see what we've got for Lee. This is the Mystical Cat Tarot. What do we have for Lee? Hey, John, how are you doing? Hello, Jasmine. How's your day? Wow, okay. Lee, we are starting out with Death and 10 of Swords in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Ace of Sea or Ace of Cups. I feel like there's going to be some sort of improvement upon the current situation. I don't know. I can't help but think this is like a beach visit. Are you contemplating a vacation? Is this saying there will be money for a vacation? No, this is saying things might be easier for you as far as when it comes to planning. Nine of Wands in the reverse, King of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like this is a vacation, and you may not have thought that it would get approved. I feel like things are easier this time around because we have the King of Wands. That's your energy. And the Nine of Wands being in the reverse, this is like saying there's less that you have to deal with. There's, you know, less paperwork. I do feel like you're able to plan something to go check out a warmer place, and I know where you like to go. Four of Fire, Four of Wands in the reverse. Be cautious though. I do feel like, this is so weird, but I do feel like if you plan a vacation to go out of state and the ex apparently would know about it, you might want to change your keys. You might want to add some level of security, because I feel like there is an issue here in terms of your ex not having a place to stay. And there may be a little flirtation with the plan of, well, if I know that she's out of state, maybe I can go there. So be cautious with that. Because, you know, some people are a little bit ridiculous in terms of what they think they can get away with. All right. Let's see what else we've got. We've got Matt up next. And Lee, I hope that that goes well for you and that it's perfect weather. Hello, Faraz. Hello, Joel. Hello, Joan. Hello, Ezekiel. How we doing? Hello, Aubrey. That's good, Lee. Matt would like to know, what is up with Ava Lloyd? Oh. This looks like a change of heart. It's like somebody went from, I don't like anything, this all sucks, to, oh, this is exciting. Total like mood change. And the High Priestess. Is this someone who's keeping a happy secret? Yes. The Seven of Swords. Okay, so we have somebody who is excited about something, and I feel like this is romance or a little crushy poo, and they're excited, but they don't feel like they can like actually like be honest about it or tell a lot of people, so it's like very hush hush, right? Knight of Swords in the reverse, but this is like an impulsive love situation. Like, I met you last week and I'm already obsessed with you kind of thing. I can't tell anybody though. Let's see, we've got Temperance in the reverse. And the Four of Wands in the reverse. Okay, I'm seeing like Carrie and Mr. Big from Sex and the City. I feel like we could have somebody who has a sneaky link. Am I falling in love? Possibly, but I know I shouldn't. Four of Wands in the reverse, Hermit in the reverse, and Temperance in the reverse. All of these are like, I know this is trouble. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm doing it anyways. Maybe it's not romance. Maybe it's just like a, I shouldn't be friends with you because like you're contrary to everything that I'm supposed to like. I'm trying to think of a good example of that. Without getting like political. I don't think I can do that. I feel like it's all risky to say. But we have the Three of Cups too. Yeah. There's just a secret here. And I don't think I can share it, is what they're thinking. Like if I said something about what I'm doing or what's getting me excited, then I feel like everyone would be judgmental. All right. I hope that helps, Matt. Let's see what we've got for Melissa. We want to know, what are Joe's intentions towards Melissa? What are Joe's intentions towards Melissa? You're welcome, Lee. Yeah, I recognized it actually because Sin City is one of my favorites. So I was like, okay, well maybe this is like not the actual. Yeah, there's a concern here in terms of a secret I can't tell anybody, right? Because if I were to talk about this, I know people would tell me that I'm being impulsive or I'm doing something I shouldn't. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Hello, Derek. All right, let me be more intentional with that. What are Joe's intentions towards Melissa, please? Page of Crystals or Page of Swords? Four of Jars or Four of Cups in the reverse? King of Jars in the reverse, or King of Cups in the reverse, and the Six of Wicks or Six of Wands. There's something here that prevents this person from leveraging the more like compassionate, understanding side of themselves. So I do feel like we have someone who may be acting a little bit selfishly. I think this could be somebody who is used to being on their own because the Page of Cups, we've got that beta fish, right? And this is, if you put a beta in a fish tank with another one, only one of them's gonna come out alive, okay? Or hang out in the fish tank and still be alive. I don't know. I don't like that the King of Cups is in the reverse. I feel like this is somebody who needs to work on emotional integrity, maturity. But it's like they've worked on some of the things they need to. I feel like their intentions most of the time are mediocre and probably focused on physical intimacy or companionship. And there are flashes of enlightenment where this person is like, you know what, I could probably actually be in a happier situation if I do this. But then it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit too difficult for me to give up on the idea of being by myself. Maybe I like living by myself too much. Maybe I'm, you know, not interested in watching what I have to say around somebody. So this is like somebody who's like 75% emotionally mature. Don't hate me. There's still work here because I think their intentions are waffly. They are not fully committed. They're not fully cemented, right? Okay, so either this person realizes that they need to change their approach to love because of their interaction with you, or you meet them, they get a little bit of a crush, and you're like, oh, sorry, I'm busy. I'll be back in a year. And then they work on themselves. See a little snail? Yeah? There's slow progress here. This person has been working on some things, but you might be the person that like comes into their life and is like, hey, you know, you still have to clean your room. You haven't finished that yet. Boop. Now you're going to because you want to make it work for me. You might be the person that helps this person realize they need to like speed it up a little bit, you know? You will never find a more efficient teenager than one who has been told once their chores are done, they can go do what they want. But does that mean that they mess up the tasks that they need to do, right? Let's ask. God, the Ace of Jars. The Ace of Cups is representative of love. Yes. But this is someone who has to learn how to do things a different way. So the best approach to this is a slow burn. Because you do come through as a very good match. But this person, it's like, let's say you have a real fancy dinner reservation and you're told that the reservation is for 7 p.m. and you're getting ready with that timeline in mind, and then you get a phone call and homie's like, yo, it's actually at 6:30. You have 30 minutes less. Can we still make that work? And you're like, no, my hair's wet. I haven't put on my shoes. We don't want to rush the situation, because then it means you go to that fancy dinner reservation and your hair ain't looking like it should. Or you had to put on a wrinkly dress because you didn't have time to like deal with the wrinkles. There's something here where it's like, this is something that could be amazing, but if you rush it, then it turns into something that's not as amazing. Hello, Unknown Glitch. How are you doing? All right. I thought I saw something. You wish is asking what's going to happen with the appointment next week. I feel like there's going to be a warning that something needs to change, or there's going to be some problems. 5 of Pentacles, Judgment in the reverse. So to give like an example or an analogy, if this were about a health situation, it would be, if you keep eating, red meat, you're going to end up with this health problem. This is a warning saying you have to change this behavior, or this is the outcome. So it would be good to pay attention to that or take it seriously. Let's see. Melissa says, are me and Joe going to stay together? For Melissa, are Melissa and Joe going to stay together? I feel like there is a breakup, and if there is healing, then you come back together. Because right now there is a need for Joe to be kind of reminded what's right in front of him. The worst thing, in my opinion, that you can do in your life is to not be able to see what amazingness is right in front of you. Now that could apply to you. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see what's actually amazing about you, or are you just listening to what everybody else has to say about you? It could be about a job. Man, I took that job for granted. I thought it was fine. I didn't need it. And now I can't find something that pays as well, or now I can't find something with that kind of team. A relationship, right? I feel like this is someone who does not realize how amazing you are. And might require a harsh reminder. I feel like this is someone who's going to mess things up, or not know how to approach you in the right way or in a respectful way. And when they have like a little chuckle about it, like, oh, I'm, single, I can do what I want, they're going to have a very difficult, like a rude awakening as far as what happens with other connections, and whether or not that connection is good. So sometimes you have to lose what you have in order to take actual stock of what it is. But I would also argue that there are some people out there who know what they have without having to lose it, right? Hello, Inger. I'm so sad. Sorry to hear that. This is why I shouldn't try to talk until I finish reading, right? Oh, I hope you recover from that quickly. Yes, I would agree with that. All right. Any advice for Inger, please? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles, Tower in the reverse, 5 of Swords in the reverse. So Inga, this is saying there's someone who's refusing to change their perspective on another person. Hedging their bets on this, or, you know, this is just how it is. But with the Tower in the reverse, there's going to be a change. This is like, no, I really do feel like this person is good, or no, I really feel like you're the problem in the relationship. And whatever one it is, it's going to be, oh, I guess I was wrong. It could be both, I suppose. But there's going to be a change in perspective, and I do feel like that's helpful for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. If you're able to hype the video, I appreciate that as well. And thank you for also checking out my Etsy link in the description box if you're interested in some candles. I don't know. I haven't shown them in a little bit. Here they are. Aren't they cute? All right. I will see you all on the next reading. Doodles.